A sensational evening in Soccer City, USA. Perfect conditions for a sensational evening in Soccer City, USA. Perfect conditions for some USL Championship soccer on ESPN Plus. It's Portland Timbers 2 and Tacoma Defiance. And welcome inside Providence Park. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Judah Newby, joined by Laura Schott, former player with the U.S. Women's National Team and the Director of Youth Programming with the Portland Thorns. Laura, T2 coming off a defeat to Reno a few short days ago, and now they take on a side they're familiar with the Tacoma Defiance.
That's right. 16 days ago, these teams met, and Tacoma got the best of T2 in that matchup, and we'll see what happens today.
One of the key players for T2 going into this one, Aiden Stanley, the former Duke Blue Devil. He earned his first professional assist in the last match when T2 took on Reno.
Absolutely. Stanley got down that left wing, crossed the ball into Duran, who finished it. Stanley may be seen in midfield today.
And one of the goal scorers from the last time these two teams faced off, Alec Diaz. He'll be a lot to handle at the top of the formation.
Diaz is a very quick player. He makes slicing runs into the back line. He scored 2 goals in the last 2 games.
Coming up next, we'll bring you the starting lineups for both sides and the first half kickoff on a stellar day for soccer here in the Rose City. Timbers 2, Tacoma Defiance. Back inside Providence Park, Timbers 2 and Tacoma Defiance, the USL Championship here on ESPN+. It's a big matchup for Timbers 2 taking on their visitors, their rivals to the north. Let's take a look at these starting lineups. First for Cameron Knowles' T2 squad, you got Hunter Sulte in goal, and it's a bit of a unique look here, Laura.
Yeah, it looks as they line up. They might be in a 4-5-1 today. We have Max Orn still out of the back line.
And of course, for Tacoma side, led in by second-year head coach Chris Little.
They've had a rather stable back line and lineup, and today is no different. Not a lot of changes for Tacoma.
Kickoff here coming up, the United Soccer League. All 35 championship clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Join us for a 15-second moment of silence as we are all united against racism. And we're off. From Providence Park, the visitors, Tacoma Defiance, moving right to left. The home side, Timbers 2, left to right, as you see it on your screen. Mentioned T2 coming off a loss to Reno last Wednesday night. Turning around, taking on this Tacoma Defiance side as they start early on the edge of the attacking third.
That's right, that game started out very well for T2. They had some great opportunities and some good attacks. But in the end, Reno got the best of them.
First touch for the new man between the pipes. That's Hunter Sulte. He was the one that started up at Cheney Stadium against Tacoma 16 days ago. He gets another look at the Tacoma side here as we get two quick whistles in succession.
That's right, and the game between Leaker was in goal, but we see Sulte back today with a change in goalkeeper.
The referee making sure everything stays in order. That's Isaiah Vlad. He's already had a couple of quick chances to bring some ruling to the match. He's assisted by CJ Cole, Adam Sanchez, and Farhad Dodko. You mentioned the lineups, though. It, of course, looks a little different. How much is the absence of the man who normally is the captain and center back, Max Ornstall, missing this one with a red card? How much of an impact will that have for Timbers 2?
That's right. That red card late in the game against Reno is definitely an impact change for T2. They've had some change in the back line, whether it's Velasquez in or Kiner in. They've had some movement, and to lose your captain out of the back line is certainly a big adjustment.
Cam Knowles initially penciling in 3 defenders with 5 midfielders and 2 forwards at the top of the formation, including the man who scored the goal against Reno, and Gerardo Duran. Whistle here. Jorge Gonzalez getting the start for T2. He goes down briefly. Another foul on Tacoma. True to theme, Laura, the last time these two sides met, there was plenty of fouls that were called in that one up at Cheney Stadium.
I don't remember the foul count, but I know that there were 8 cards in the game.
Wow.
Most in the second half. So today may be a physical one as well.
Kralicki able to track this one down, plays out of touch for a T2 throw. And a nice ball sprung him by Harold Hansen. The latter ready to take this throw in the attacking third. Kralicki with 2 seasons of MLS experience to Hansen. He drives in across. That's deflected over the end line. Will be a T2 corner kick. They had 7 of these in the last matchup with Tacoma. Had a 7-2 advantage in that category, and they earned the first of the night here in the 4th minute.
They had some good opportunities with those corners too, looking to the top of the box and sending it to the far post. See what they do here with Anguiano on the ball.
Carlos Anguiano, the Salem native, the Timbers Academy alum, will send it in. Tracking, some action at the top of the 6, and it goes against T2. Gerardo Duran, the guilty party.
Yeah, we take another look at this as the referee calls a foul. Keeper's trying to get over. Who is that? Is that Duran?
It is.
Not sure there was much there, but referee sees that he was impeding play.
That's Christian Herrera in the all-purple, manning the goal for Tacoma Defiance. Ball played up the right-hand side. Alec Diaz is able to possess, work around Mitchell Ferguson. He wants to try to center up a ball. Ferguson plays it out of touch.
There you see that little burst of speed. He's got that quickness around the corner. He showed that in the previous couple games, Diaz.
Mitchell Ferguson making his first start of the season for T2 after appearing as a substitute in each of the previous 3 matches. Daniel Robles, left foot in swing, serves it in. Headed away, the first man there, Ferguson. The follow, looking for the flag to come up, stays down for the moment. Hunter Sulte deals with it regardless. This is the 3rd match in 11 days, or excuse me, the 2nd match as part of a stretch of 3 matches in 11 days for Timbers 2. That will be complete this Saturday, hosting Sacramento Republic. Meanwhile, for Tacoma Defiance, they're going to be on the road for a long time, starting with this match tonight. This is the first of 9 consecutive away from Cheney Stadium for Defiance.
You mentioned that, and I still have a hard time believing that they are on the road for 9 matches.
They're going to learn a home away from home. And it just speaks to the fact, Laura, that all these teams have to be versatile, have to be flexible in managing their ever-changing schedules amid the restart.
That's right, on the restart, it seems with the away games, 9 in a row, they got the short end of the stick a bit there, but see how they deal with the adversity going on the road and playing this West Coast schedule.
Diaz bringing on a little high pressure here. Sulte deals with it. Aaron Malloy. It was Malloy who got his first action with T2 the last time these teams met. Getting the start, logging all 90 minutes. We're likely to see him play over the ball on set pieces tonight as well. Defiance going into the attack. Ball played in toward the 6, and it's all Harold Hansen can do to deflect it over the end line. It's going to be a corner kick for the visitors, their 2nd.
Yeah, Hansen just makes the play on the ball there and plays it off the end line, not knowing what's behind him. Last thing you want to do in that situation is play the ball into pressure.
There's Cameron Knowles in his 3rd season, leading the USL Timbers side. Bit of a pause here. We talked to Coach Knowles not too long ago, Laura, and it's a challenge, but a challenge he's embracing, given roster flexibility, some of his key players being in the MLS bubble with the top club of the Portland Timbers, who are on to the semifinals, by the way, of MLS's back tournament. But for Coach Knowles, he's had to deal with a lot of factors outside of his control and getting this T2 squad ready to compete on a regular basis.
Yeah, that's difficult. It's definitely a unique situation to have players away in the bubble that don't readily have replacements that are in your current bubble at home. And when you have players go down with injury or players that are out with cards, it makes it a little bit more difficult to solve the lineup.
You just got to look at Chris Little. He's in his 2nd overall season as head coach of Tacoma Defiance. Formerly led the academy side of Seattle Sounders. And Tony Burke-Gilroy is the man needing some extra attention. The 98 in white being aided here. Tacoma side that has not played in 16 days since the last time they took on Timbers 2. They had a scheduled match in between, but of course that was the one that was postponed. and it kept Reno 1868 from making their scheduled visit to Cheney Stadium. Jesse Daly takes the right foot in swing. Hunter Sulte is there as we finally are able to get the corner kick executed. Sulte deals with it, fires it out to the left side.
Ball was nicely taken by Sulte. He made it look simple, came out, took it comfortably. It's nice for a young goalkeeper to get some touches on the ball with his feet and his hands early in the game.
Guiano looking for Calixtro, dispossessed here. Two clubs in Group A in the modified alignment for the restart. Good combination. Hansen making a run. And Kralik trying to find him. Little miscommunication. Hansen cutting inside. And it goes out for a goal kick.
That was a nice little play there. The last ball just a little heavy-footed, goes off the end line. T2 looks for their wide backs to get high. There Hansen does. Getting him involved in play near goal early in the game could be key to their attack.
Meanwhile, first challenge for Chris Little. He has to use an early substitute as we cross over into the 11th minute. Colin Fernandez is coming on, and Tony Burke-Gilroy forced to come off. We saw him dealing with some ailment a couple minutes ago in the Tacoma attacking half.
I couldn't tell what that was.
No.
But that's a big early change that can change the game. Burt Gilroy has had a couple assists in the last couple games.
The leader in that category for Defiance. They've played 2 matches now in the restart so far, including a comeback effort against Sacramento, a very solid side, turning a 3-1 deficit into a 3-3 draw. It's a side that has a lot of resiliency in their own right, Laura.
Absolutely. That's very difficult to do in any situation, to come back.
Here's a good ball played in toward the 18. Making a charge for it is Diaz. There'll be a lot to handle all night.
To come back from that 3-1 deficit in the second half and tie that game up 3-3 against Sacramento Republic showed a lot of resiliency from Tacoma. They had to battle in that game. Sac put them under a lot of pressure. They were putting them under pressure in their defensive third and really didn't stop for most of that game. But Tacoma handled it very well and found ways to get forward and break that pressure.
Tacoma's lone victory of the season so far came over T2 back on the 18th of July. Now we've crossed over into August. I still have to pinch myself. Already? August?
Yeah, I don't know where the summer's going at this point. It's going so quickly.
And I would say, what happened to this year? It's just kind of flown by, but I think we all know this year's been an outlier. 13th minute, scoreless at Providence Park. Fans, make sure you follow Portland Timbers 2 and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN+. It's home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the nearly 8 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at espnplus.com. Trying to come over and disrupt off him and out of touch again. Nick Hines will come back for another throw in. Some early touches for the new man, Colin Fernandez, who plays it back to Taylor Mueller, wearing the captain's armband for Defiance. Teams seem to have settled in a bit on their respective possessions. Here's Daly with some space. He plays it a little long. And out for a goal kick, looking for Osriel Gonzalez. As for Hunter Sulte, Lincoln, Nebraska native, as you can see from his frame. 6'7", 181 pounds, lanky and long. And this is some valuable experience for him in goal. And Cam Knowles mentioned it, Laura, after the last match, but Sulte getting the action early this season and at Tacoma, then Leaker coming in and performing against Reno. He says, hey, we've got a bit of a competition here between the pipes. Obviously, Leaker more experienced, but Sulte able to, perform well in his own right.
Absolutely. Sulte in that first start, he did a good job, and he did a good job helping the back line, controlling the back line, made some really good saves. You see early in this game, he gets a few touches early, takes the ball with his hands off the corner. He's starting to become a little bit more comfortable, it seems, which is important for a young goalkeeper in goal.
Long switch to the back it goes. Mueller able to collect. Pace of this one is slowed down a bit. And since the exit, as Hines unable to keep that one in play, we'll go out for a T2 throw. Takes the ball with him, of course. And Isaiah Vlad needs to have some words.
Well, given the history with these two teams, 16 days back, I think as a referee, you look at that stat sheet and you say 8 cards is quite a few. Want to keep the game under control early from the start and through the match.
He has respective messages both for Taylor Mueller, the captain of Tacoma, and worth pointing out as well, Laura, that Ken Kralicki serving as captain for the home side in the absence of Max Ornstall, also in on that conversation. Here's Gerardo Duran, plays across on the ground to the box, cleared out of touch. And Harold Hansen will come over. Malloy switches field. And Hines is there to deal with it. Plays a long ball up, Sulte way out of the box. T2 emergency defending in toward the top of the 6. The shot coming over. Sulte is able to collect with Caleb Kiner's aid. Major bullet dodged for T2 as that for sure looked to spell opportunity.
Well, that was a unique play. See the ball picked up here. Robles plays that ball through to Diaz. We talked about his speed earlier. He takes that long touch by the goalkeeper, and you think here he might bend the ball far post with his right, but he decides to go on the dribble. T2, they do a good job getting back, protect the goal. Sulte recovers and makes the save. Well done by Sulte.
How about that for the young keeper? Also credit Caleb Kiner and even Aaron Malloy tracking back to disrupt Diaz's rhythm there from being able to get a shot off. You can circle that one at home. We remain on level ground. Kralicki looking to spring Calixtro. Denied entry. Stays with it. Now Gonzalez up the left side. He's able to cut it back. Plays it off. Now Calixtro looking to turn on his left foot. Unable to center up something in the 6. Played back out wide, and now central from Malloy. Hansen combining. Duran, Kralicki, Duran over the top. It goes. Header goes wide. Jorge Gonzalez, the opportunity. Some excellent combination from T2 to set up Gonzalez.
This was some really nice possession by T2. See the end of the play here. Duran plays this ball across. Put some nice touch on it, far post. Great opportunity to finish that play, but ball just travels wide of goal.
So each side with a good opportunity on goal, but nothing to show for it. Kiner able to head clear. The latest man, Fernandez, finds himself with it in the center, but quickly dealt with. Now Calixtro giving chase. Sliding tackle and effectively done by the captain, Mueller. It was just one man between Calixtro and the keeper, and Mueller does well.
Yeah, it was well done by Mueller to make the play, hustle back, take that opportunity away from Calixtro.
Durant, 20 yards out, sends a shot in, blocked, but now Anguiano cuts inside, plays one on the ground, cleared over the end line for another T2 corner kick. Anguiano took the earlier service, and it looks like he'll do so again. Each side now with a couple of corner kicks. Sends it in, right foot in swing, another whistle. And it goes once more against the green and gold. T2 raising their pressure, nearly pays off as a long switch, nearly intercepted by Gonzalez, but unable to control. And T2 earning a throw in the attacking third. Kraliki looking for Stanley. Taken out from underneath. No whistle. And it's played out for a goal kick.
Promising run here by Stanley. He had that assist in the last game. He's going to be looking to get further up the field, continue to challenge that back line from Tacoma.
Tacoma content to settle in with possession here. Miscommunication favors Portland. But can't do anything with it on the long switch, looking for Hansen. Sacramento will come to Portland this weekend, this Saturday night, before T2 goes back on the road in Group A, taking on Reno and Sacramento in succession. Defiance moving into the box. Stanley now cut inside, shot on goal. Salty first there, but it's cleaned up and put in. The visitors take a 1-0 lead.
Another long ball here down the line. Great little run here. Tacoma just getting inside. He breaks to his right. Cutting back to his left, hitting that shot. Salty, great job on the save, but the rebound. And then you see Diaz. Diaz with that speed again. He does a great job of getting into spaces and slots. Finding those second opportunities, first opportunities. It's one of his strengths. He does a great job of hiding behind defenders and then popping into spaces when you least expect it.
Alec Diaz, the goal scorer. We highlighted him before the match, and of course, he comes up in a big moment for the roadside. A Sounders Academy product. Played for Sounders 2, and of course last season with the Defiance in the rebrand. Now is able to scoot one past Sulte. In the 24th minute, 1-0. Jesse Daly coming on hard, challenging Aaron Malloy. Whistle goes, foul called on the Aussie Daly. Strong slide to intercept by Nick Hines to play out of touch. Earns an applause from Chris Little, the former head coach of Sounders Academy, now in his second full season with Tacoma Defiance. Meanwhile, Harold Hansen, his 4th overall year with T2, one of the veterans of the group. Ooh, no whistle here as Duran went down hard. And quickly coming back the other way is Alec Diaz in Tacoma. Ferguson tracking back. Diaz playing in toward the top of the box. Hansen is there. You see Gerardo Duran, the goal scorer, his first professional goal. He was able to score against Reno. Hansen gonna get whistled here.
See 2 players just making a play on the ball there. Tacoma does get a piece of it, but
didn't get a whistle on that Duran collision, but Hansen whistled moments ago, able to track back and play out of touch.
Yeah, I didn't see much there.
As for T2 Laura, we saw them show their resilience against Reno after falling behind 2-0 in the second half, able to get one on the board, and with about 10 minutes left in that match, it was anybody's game.
It was. They were down 2-0, came back 1 goal on that Stanley cross, Duran finish. But then when Foster Langsdorff came in, he ended up getting that goal to make it 3-1, and often that can be a somewhat deflating score, especially late in the game. But T2 hung in there.
Diaz on his left foot, dangerous ball to the top of the 6, evades Sulte for the moment, and then cleared away, but only as far as Hines. Daly got warned of approaching danger in the form of Calixtro and was able to work around him. Through ball comes in, so does Sulte. Able to deal with it for the moment. And hard off of Sulte and over the end line, Osriel Gonzalez off his right foot. It's been a busy half for the youngster.
See that strong run in there from Gonzalez. The Sulte stands it up, ends up getting the better of the play.
Playing this corner short, Malloy coming up with it, but it'll be deja vu. Tacoma will talk it again with Robles on the left foot in swing. This time plays it to the top of the 6, Sulte a punch. Fernandez keeps it. Diaz to combine with Daly. Plays it in. Malloy, comfortable, clears it away. Defiance smelling a second goal to take control. Daly playing it in toward the box for Gonzalez. Kiner there. Duran coming in hard. Might have something extra here. Yes. The referee, Isaiah Vlad, comes in. It'll be the first caution of the night for Gerardo Duran.
Yeah, Duran's just in hot pursuit of this ball and goes down. Doesn't really have a chance to get to that ball. Decides to have a go at it anyway.
Duran himself, sure frustrated after being whistled for a couple of fouls on corner kicks in toward the box. And now we'll break for a hydration break here at the half-hour mark of the first half. Judah Newby, lower shot from Providence Park. 1-0, the visitors lead Portland Timbers 2 here on ESPN+. Gerardo Duran just awarded a caution, but it was Duran in the last match with Reno, the goal scorer for Timbers 2, and he is the youngest Timbers Academy product to ever score for T2. Not even 17 years old, Gerardo Duran, and just speaks to the level of youth that's playing but also performing and producing for Timbers 2 this year in USL.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting your opportunities against professionals at such a young age does so much for players. Get to see competition that you wouldn't see necessarily on a frequent basis playing against players your own age. And getting that first goal is just so special for a player. And to get it in that game to bring them back from that 2-0 down to 2-1 and give them a chance at the end of that Reno game was certainly a special moment for him.
Mentioned Alec Diaz, one of the top attacking players for Tacoma, and he's already made an early impact in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Tacoma here playing that long ball down the line. They often, in this game, have started the counterattack with that long ball and get a great opportunity here. Put it away on the rebound.
And the former Academy product for Seattle Sounders able to crack it. Let's take a look at the updated standings around USL, particularly with Group A. Reno there at the top, 3 wins and 4 tries, including most recently here in the Rose City. Sacramento Republic, Tacoma Defiance there in the middle. Tacoma chasing Sacramento in that line of demarcation there. And of course, T2 looking for their first points in the campaign.
Yeah, it's still early. At this point, with all these teams, they have a lot of games in the current setup with USL for 2020. They're going to be seeing each other a lot. They have a lot of opportunity to make up points in the future. But right now, Reno on top. A lot of great competition to come.
Long ball played on the ground. Not sure if it was a through ball or an actual shot, but Alec Diaz nearly got a foot to it for a second. But instead, Hunter Sulte alertly able to pounce on it. This was the exact score line at the half, the last time these two teams met, just over 2 weeks ago before Tacoma. Then the home side added a couple in the second half to seal the 3 points. T2, though, looking to flip the script. They'll have to come from behind to do it. Ball played in the box. A lot of white shirts there. Plenty of green to track back. Deflection and cleared out of the box by Kiner. Holding possession, played out. Now T2 looking to put something together here. Hansen able to keep it in. Durant fighting hard with Daly, but in the end, Fernandez wins. Alertly, Durant able to take this off of Daly. Move into the attack. Got it on his right foot. Crosses it in, looking for Gonzalez. Circles back to Stanley. Stanley setting up his left on the ground. Calixtro. A one-time touch, but nothing to connect on the other side. Cleared away by Fernandez. And Tacoma looking to spring the counter. Ariel Gonzalez into the box. Posting up Kiner. Central it comes Fernandez. Kitahara. Ball played in toward the 6, cutting it inside. Is Robles. Flag stayed down. T2 was looking for the whistle, but instead they're able to clear it out. The USL's elite pre-professional platform, USL Academy, allows clubs across the USL to build a pathway to pro soccer by bringing together top local youth talent. Following the success of the first Academy Cup events, clubs can now apply to participate in the USL Academy League, kicking off in spring 2021. For more information, visit usl-academy.com or search hashtag USL Academy on social media. Gonzalez looking to make a run up the left-hand side, but he was off. What do you see from Timbers 2 here, Laura, as they look to stem the tide and also return the favor with an equalizer?
I see T2 backing up a little bit. They're trying not to get strung out. They're setting up in their defensive half, trying not to let Tacoma play through gaps. They're staying pretty compact, and there you saw Hansen tucking in quite a bit, and then they're looking to exploit the space outside of Hansen with that run from Gonzalez.
It was a 3-5-2 initially in Cam Knowles' lineup. Of course, much of that is strictly who's available on the roster sheet as well, missing a couple of center backs. And Ornstall and Velasquez, both of whom started the last time T2 took on Tacoma up at Cheney Stadium. And neither of whom are available for selection tonight. Completely new formation, completely different looking lineup, particularly on the defensive end for T2, as Gio Calixtro is getting a talking to.
Yeah, frequent changes in lineup, specifically with the back line or goalkeeper, can kind of break up continuity, and sometimes it takes players a little bit longer to gel and have an understanding on a back line. But with this T2 squad, allowing young players opportunities, it's also very, very valuable.
Long ball played in. Flirted briefly with the posts. Off the foot of Calixtro. And his development in particular will be something to keep an eye on as he continues to get reps and reps at the top of the formation for Timbers 2.
Absolutely, he plays that point. He usually gets a few shots for T2 per game. One thing I'd like to see is just see him get the ball off his foot a little bit quicker. seems that he creates some good opportunities, puts himself in some really savvy and great goal-scoring positions. If he gets that ball off his foot a little bit quicker, may end up scoring some goals here for T2 this season.
Right-footed shot from the edge of the box, saved out by Sulte. Marlon Vargas with some pace.
As we've seen before, Tacoma takes this ball in the run. They really like to draw defenders in one way and explode out the other and use that wide space.
Fifth corner of the half for the visitors. Comes in, header on goal, it's in. 2-0 to the visitors. This is the captain. Taylor Mueller puts it in off the service from the fifth corner of the night, and Tacoma in control.
It's a great in-swinging ball, and Mueller there with his height. Just comes from that backside, makes that run across the box. Finishes that ball from near post to far. It's a great run and great finish by Mueller.
And nearly the identical moment of the match that the visiting side earned their first goal in Reno. Cristiano Francois in the 40th minute. This time, Taylor Mueller adds a second for the road side. And Defiance take a 2-0 lead. Good sliding challenge, able to play. Out of touch by Osriel Gonzalez. Malloy, big ball in the air, looking for Stanley to keep it in, unable to. And out for Tacoma throw. .81 degrees here locally. It's been a toasty last few weeks in the Portland metro area. But playing in the cool shade of Providence Park, a welcome experience. Whistle here. Got a 7:30 kick versus Reno. 6 o'clock local tonight for the I-5 rivalry with Tacoma. Hines joining the attack for Defiance. Into the box he goes. Sends one in through the 6. Looking to get a right foot to it was Vargas. But just enough as it goes out for a goal kick. Or Diaz, rather. Nearly on the other end. Already with one to his name. Whistle here out of the center circle. Still getting used to the sounds of the match as they organically are able to be captured by our microphones at field level. A unique experience, because so often experiencing Portland Timbers matches at Providence Park, you have the raucous sellout crowd, 20,000 plus, but to be able to experience just the organic sounds of the game too. The communication on the field, the coaches from the sideline, that's an experience I know you're familiar with, Laura. And that's a different one than what we're generally accustomed to.
It is different, but there's an element of fun to it because, especially for viewers and for young players at home, you get to hear what the players are actually saying and how they're directing each other and how they work together.
Big ball here. Diaz on a second touch was able to send it through, but of course, all for naught. Flag is up. He's a crafty one, though. Alec Diaz.
He's quick, he's clean on the ball. Again, another long ball here from Tacoma. You can see Diaz bring this ball down just offside, but then he did such a nice job of putting a little touch on it to pop it over Solti's head, and that's not easy to do. The goalkeeper, who's as tall as Solti.
Second caution of the night goes against the home side, as you see it there. Carlos Anguiano being shown the yellow. Had 8 combined cautions the last time these two clubs met. 2 so far in the opening half. Gerardo Duran and Carlos Anguiano picking them up. Hansen does well, but still kept in the attacking half by Tacoma. Daly. Vargas. Hines on the near side. Does well to cut inside. Now Malloy comes over to help shepherd him over the end line. Good work tracking back by Aaron Malloy. 2 minutes of stoppage time here in the opening half from Portland. Solti a big leg into it. Kiner looking for Hansen. Daly cuts him off. Daly looking to serve one in toward the box. Kiner is there. T2 looking for a chance to counter. Gonzalez. Still Gonzalez, a little heavy in his recovering touch. Anguiano slipping Calixtro, a shot. Herrera there to block it and save. Close to finding one before the end of the half.
Nice little ball in there. Promising opportunity for Calixtro. Just got to pick his spot in place.
Coming toward the tail end of first half stoppage. Whistle blows. Goes against the visitors. Playing it in, Gonzalez. That's over everyone. And it goes out for a goal kick. There's the whistle, and that wraps up things in the first half. Alec Diaz highlighted him before the match, and now he has scored a trio of goals. In as many games, he got the visitors on the board first. Added another one along the way by the captain, Taylor Mueller, on a set piece. Home club Timbers 2 will have to come from behind to earn their first points of 2020. Halftime is coming up next, and the second half, 2-0 visitors from Providence Park on ESPN+. at a beautiful Providence Park in Portland, Oregon. Second half action coming up shortly. But first, it's time to take a look at the USL Academy structure.
A critical player development strategy within the USL Academy League model is player promotion through each player registration status. Through this process, top young talent will continually be challenged by playing up with older players, and the best players will eventually integrate into the USL senior team environment. Player promotion begins through the talent identification process, where top U15 through U19 players from the youth network will be evaluated under the philosophy that if you're good enough, you're old enough. Once a player excels in the USL Academy League, they will be given the opportunity to integrate into a senior team environment. As they assimilate and meet senior team standards, USL Championship and League One clubs will be able to offer the most talented players professional or amateur contracts with their senior team. This mechanism is especially key, as it provides the players ready to go pro with a direct path to do so. Clubs in League Two will use their senior team to provide their top young talents experience with college-age players during the summer. Players signing amateur contracts at any of these levels are provided the chance to experience the senior team level of play at a young age, while still maintaining their college eligibility. By pushing more top young players across the US into professional environments, the USL will play a key role in improving the overall level of the elite American player, ultimately helping us reach, if not exceed, our potential as a soccer nation at the international level. For more information, visit usl-academy.com.
The United Soccer League and its 47th championship and League One clubs stand united in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create change. Together, we are united against racism.
45 minutes down, 45 to go. Looking forward to an action-packed second half and all the action.
In support of diversity,
Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Welcome back, Portland, Oregon. Providence Park, 2-0, Tacoma Defiance leading the home side. Portland Timbers 2 here on ESPN+. Moments away from second half action, but first, let's take a look at some of the top moments from the opening 45 minutes. Started early with a chance for T2.
Here you see Malloy start that play, Hansen running through. Nice play here from T2. Durant sends this nice weighted ball across the far post. Great opportunity. The ball just placed wide of the post.
Well, the visitors were the ones to crack the scoreboard first. Began with Vargas, and our man Alec Diaz, mentioned him in the pregame. He is able to clean it up on the other side.
Yeah, there you see Vargas cutting back and then trying to finish that ball near post. And then Diaz coming through, finishing his third goal in 3 games.
Also saw a couple of cautions in that opening 45. Gerardo Duran, a little physical here. Carlos Anguiano also picked one up. 5th corner of the evening resulted in the second for the visitors, with the captain putting it through, Thomas Mueller.
Absolutely beautiful finish by the captain, Mueller. Makes that near post run, he's just hard to stay with.
Captain wearing the armband for Tacoma. First half stats, 8-5 Defiance with the advantage on shots. All 8 finding the target. Also a commanding advantage in possession. What do you see in the first half that T2 needs to modify in half number 2?
It's pretty rare that you see shots and shots on target at the same number. Not always in soccer do the match stats seem to reflect the game, but here they really seem to. Tacoma's very comfortable in possession, 59% there to T2's 41, and those 2 goals for Tacoma, that follow by Diaz and that finish off the corner by Mueller.
And that's all with an early substitution, and Tony Burke having to come off due to injury about the 10th minute, replaced by Colin Fernandez. Busy week in the USL Championship. Starting with the power rankings, with Orange County taking the top spot this week.
That's right, we've got Orange County on top, and then see Phoenix Rising, who had 20 consecutive wins in 2019 from May to September.
Wow.
And they won the regular season title. They're in 3rd, so lurking not far behind is a very potent attack. Then you have Austin. Austin Bold signed a hometown player returning from Austria. It's Jamaican international. And he said that he's very excited to be returning home. And then we have Orange County with a transfer. First USL player to leap to the Bundesliga. He'll jump to VfL Wolfsburg.
Well, Alec Diaz able to find the back of the net for Tacoma Defiance. He has 3 goals in as many matches. He put the visitors in front 1-0, added another one from Taylor Mueller. Hunter Sulte, a busy first half of action as well in his 2nd consecutive match playing against the Defiance after facing them up in Cheney Stadium. What have you seen from the youngster between the pipes and Hunter Sulte?
Well, like we saw in the stats, there were 8 shots and 8 of them on frame, 2 goals scored. So see him coming up big there 6 times, and he's had some great opportunities to work with his backline and connect with his backline as well, starting the attack. Early in the game, he looked pretty comfortable. He took a cross very comfortably with his hands on top of the 6-yard box and really aided T2 in their initial possession. But Tacoma there with Diaz, 3 goals in 3 games, and Mueller off that finish. A beautiful finish off the corner. There's not much he could do there.
Diaz, the academy product out of the Sounders Academy, producing now in the USL Championship.
Diaz is seeing his action in, this is his 3rd season seeing action here, and he's only 18 years old.
Promising young talent. Jorge Gonzalez in the attacking half. T2 with some work to do. Stanley loses out of touch. Defiance with the majority of possession in that opening 45 minutes. Opportunity knocking on Quiano, looking to play Hansen through, and a sliding clearance by Fernandez.
Talked about it a bit in that last game. T2 looking for Anguiano to start playing some of those final balls through there, or linking balls to create some assist opportunities, and Hansen does such a good job getting up that line. Wouldn't be surprised if Anguiano continues to look for those wide backs as they enter the attack.
He tries to turn here, but Tacoma instead with an opportunity. In toward the corner, one-on-one, Sulte unable to get it. Diaz has a brace. The 18-year-old youngster with another one, and it's 3-0 Tacoma.
Here we go again for Tacoma. Just popping that ball over the top there, Gonzalez onto a sprinting Diaz. He's such a quick player. He's very savvy there to put it on his right foot. Sets himself up very well to finish this bent ball. Curls it right into the back of the net. Great finish by Diaz.
Make it 4 goals in the last 3 games, including one in each half this evening. Too much from Marlon Vargas on Aiden Stanley, gets the whistle. This time Calixto.
Well, as we saw here in the last game with Tacoma and T2, there were a lot of fouls, a lot of cards. The second half may be indicative of another go-round of their last matchup.
2 cautions shown in the first half, both to Portland. Gerardo Duran in the 30th minute, Carlos Anguiano just before the halftime whistle. Each side with an opportunity to make 5 substitutions in total at 3 different events of the match, not including the halftime break. Chris Little's side looks identical to what finished the first half. Calixto nearly able to pressure and intercept here. Tacoma continues possession in the middle third. Cam Knowles, 11, also looks the same to half number 1. Daly looking to play a ball up. Good ball here over the head of Hansen. Kitahara getting on top of it with a skidding low cross to the top of the box. Sliding Diaz looking for more. Just can't connect on the other end.
Another long ball from the middle third there from Tacoma. And that quick cross. Diaz again with one of those darting runs, splitting the vision of the defenders. Then he pokes out in these spaces. He just finds these gaps, and that burst of speed often gives him opportunities to score goals.
Now some high pressure. Gonzalez part of it. Kiner to Malloy. Hansen wins the first. Into the corner of the box. Play to the top, right-footed shot. A diving Sulte. Able to corral for the save. Defiance not letting the foot off the gas. Now Kalikstro to Stanley. T2 looking for something against the run of play. Deflection there. Hines, all he can do is head it over the end line for a T2 corner kick. Seeing Aaron Malloy take a lot of the set pieces for T2 the last couple of matches, but tonight it's been Carlos Anguiano over the ball.
T2 has some really great options in those two. Play their free kicks at corners.
To the top of the 6, out comes the keeper, flies over everyone. Stanley charging, collides with Hines. It is out, remains in T2 possession. Dangerous ball from Anguiano. Kalikstro trying to combine with Duran. And a whistle against T2, much to the chagrin of the coaching staff on the near side. That go off of Kalikstro before going over the end line. I don't believe it did. Corner kick for T2. Christian Herrera mistaken. Quickly taken. Oh, and dispossessing. Malloy looking for Gonzalez. Whistle against the captain. Mueller. And there's the caution. Third of the night, first for the roadside. Mueller has had a couple of meetings with the referee tonight, Isaiah Vlad.
Yeah, there you just see Mueller in pursuit, and he puts his right hand on the back of the T2 player. It's not the foul that got the card, it's the kicking the ball 40 yards down the field after the play.
Taylor Mueller, a goal to his name in the 40th minute on a header from a corner kick. Now put in the book for yellow. And an opportunity here for T2. Mitchell Ferguson, part of a conversation. Samuel Rogers there as well. Isaiah Vlad says, knock it off. The restart, slipping through. Kralicki, the shot, into the side netting. There was deflection. Looks like it will result in a corner kick for Timbers 2. Anguiano playing through Kralicki here.
You see this nice little set play. Anguiano placing that ball. Weighted pass through that set line, that set defensive line by Tacoma.
Saying that Herrera got a piece as it went to the side netting. So Anguiano serves one in again from the corner spot. Bit of a miss punch by Herrera. Cleared over the end line once more from Defiance. A third corner in just the span of a couple of minutes as T2 continues on the attack.
Another Another ball sent in there by Anguiano into the 6-yard box. Herrera may need to be careful there. He's putting a lot of hands there on the T2 players. Krolicki there, I think, in that last play.
This ball driven toward the near post. Calixto could not redirect it. Another whistle. Ariel Gonzalez. The foul, but this one played out for a Tacoma throw. Kitahara playing one up the line. But Gonzalez the first to touch for Portland. Loy looking for something over the top in the vicinity of Calixto, giving chase, but Herrera there. Diaz this time garnering a lot of attention, both from Kiner and Ferguson. Malloy, 25 out. The Penn State grad lays it off for Hansen, joining the attack. Hansen, unable to maintain his balance, trying to make a move. Turns it over. Defiance looking to counter. Vargas from the right-hand side with space. Lays it off for Kitahara. Squares up, centers. But Ferguson there. Kiner for the home side. Match getting a little bit more up and down now in the last couple of moments. Krolicki. A one-time ball comes in toward the center. Calixto tried to slide to direct it toward goal. Couldn't get it square.
Yeah, the game's gotten a little bit long here. Duran sends that ball into Calixto, making that near post run. Calixto just can't get quite enough to it to turn his body and place it on frame.
And Defiance playing out of the back with a 3-0 advantage. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2020. Sign up today and get alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Portland Timbers 2 and click on the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Get reminders on T2's next match and more. Opportunity here on a deep run all the way into the box from Hines. Timbers able to work out of the box for just a moment. Diaz from a wide position. Cross comes in. Kiner heads clear. Oh, make sure you head on over to ESPN.com and click follow on Portland Timbers 2 to stay up with the latest scores, stats, storylines, and more. ESPN.com, follow T2. Stanley tallied his first professional assist. Now playing to Gonzalez. That's going to be out for a home throw. Nicely crafted by Anguiano to maintain possession. Looking for Calixto. Goes down with some contact. Nothing there. Stanley plays into the box. Anguiano, a left-footed cross toward the top of the 6. Cleared away by Kitahara. Some contact near the end line. And another whistle goes against Anguiano. Trying to win that one near the end line.
Didn't appear to be too much there, but given the history of these two teams in their last match with 8 cards. Referee may be making an attempt to keep the game under control and not repeat with quite so many cautions.
Nicely done by Malloy. Surprising Daly to take it off him. Daly returning the favor on Anguiano now. And we'll have another substitution, this time the first for the home side. And Salvador Villegas coming on the pitch for Jorge Gonzalez here in the 61st minute. Oh, friendly fire for T2, nearly went out, but flag stays down. Play getting a little choppy here in the middle third. And a whistle ends that sequence.
Referee called that foul on Anguiano on the end line as well. So Anguiano with the second foul here, without too much time passing, may need to be a little bit careful.
This was Gonzalez playing more central, looking to run through. Defiance unable to combine. Stanley, big ball up the left side. Played out by Rogers. Kitahara. Obvious foul here.
Much harder foul than those Anguiano fouls.
Kiner and Ferguson playing out of the back here. Again, 2 new center backs from what T2 put forward in the starting 11. The last time these teams met on July the 18th, when you had Max Ornstill and Williams Velasquez. Velasquez has missed the last 2 matches since then after picking up an injury. He is on loan from the Premier League side, Watford FC. Looking forward to his return when it comes. As for Ornstill, had a soft red charged to his name in the last match with Reno. So he's unavailable for selection here. Paving the way for opportunity of Kiner and Ferguson to start in center defense. Ray Serrano comes on. Osriel Gonzalez off here in the 64th. Second substitution employed by Chris Little of the night. So the 80 in white comes on for Gonzalez. That's Vargas coming off for the visitors. 39 with Chino Perez also coming on.
Same substitutes were employed in the last matchup of Tacoma and T2 16 days ago, with those 2 entering the game.
Hines joining the attack, looking to play something in toward the new man, Serrano. Hansen is back in defense. Off of him over the end line for a Tacoma corner kick. Harold disagreeing with the ruling. Defiance will take the corner. Sulte awaits. Crossing over into minute 66. It's on its way. Sulte, the first, punches with the left hand. Whistle goes against the visitors. Mueller already with the yellow and a goal. Called for the foul in the box. Sulte, the Lincoln, Nebraska native. Timbers Academy member since 2016. He's appeared in the 18 for Timbers too a couple of times over the last 2 seasons, but didn't see his first action until starting in Phoenix in the season opener back in early March. Hansen, the attack on the right side. Ferguson trying to center with a header. Cleared out of the box. Stanley for Villegas, freshly entered. Looking for Calixto, off of him, over the end line. It will be a corner kick for Timbers 2. Or no, excuse me, a deep throw in the attacking third. Stanley to take. Unable to result in a moment for Portland. Now quickly the other way, Serrano. Diaz looking for another. Sulte denies. The follow goes wide from Chino Perez. Just came on, had a look at a virtually open net and couldn't put it home. Remains 3-0.
Here you see one of these substitutes playing the ball forward to Diaz. Tries to place it with his right foot there. Then you see Perez. He stops on the ball instead of following through it, putting it in the back of the net. Great opportunity for Tacoma. I bet he wants that one back.
Boy, prior to that moment, Tacoma had 10 total shots in the game, all of which were shots on goal. And perhaps their best opportunity of the night is their first shot off target, Laura. It's funny how the match can play out.
It's odd that the shot off target comes on one of their better opportunities.
Just one T2 player in the attacking half. Everyone else sinking in defense. Serrano to Kitahara. Back to Mueller. Stanley up to the moment. Kitahara comes in hard, a little something extra there. Stanley been asked to do a lot this match. You get the feeling he'll continue to be asked to do a lot in this USL season. Speaking of a lot, too much there from Jesse Daly. He's shown the yellow from Isaiah Vlad. Timbers 2 with a couple of cautions in the first half. Now Tacoma Defiance with an equal amount, both in this second half.
Yeah, with the throw in there, Anguiano facing his own goal. Daly a little bit too aggressive coming in high there. Really would be better served just keeping his hands down. But as we near the last 20 minutes of this match, see that both sides at different times in this match now are a little bit fatigued, and see if either team employs their last few substitutions.
Combination here. Malloy, Calixtro, Villegas, Malloy, Stanley. Kraliki, a shot from distance. A punch away by Herrera. Charging was Villegas for a follow-up, but Herrera was able to get it clear of him on the save.
Savvy save by Herrera there to move that ball out of the box, put a little extra something on it. Don't let it drop inside the box or near the goal. Very well done by Herrera.
Take a look at the latest from T2 to get on the scoreboard.
That's right, we got Anguiano there on the setup. Setting that ball back. Get some really good power on that shot, but it just doesn't quite get there in time. Good save by Herrera.
Giveaway in the center circle, quickly finds Diaz. He lays it off this time for an easy, cool finish from Perez. It's another for Tacoma, 4-0 in Portland in the 72nd minute. Diaz already with a brace. This time Laura lays it off.
Again, Tacoma on that long ball into Diaz. Gets just inside of Ferguson there. Something you don't want to do as a center back is let that forward get inside, especially somebody with like Diaz who has 4 goals in 3 games. He just lays that ball off for an easy finish by Perez. Perez got his second chance.
That he did. I'm sure that's what he communicated to his teammate Diaz. Thanks for setting me up. Little redemption. And the native of Waukegan, Illinois, Perez, is able to make it 4. Easy decision here. Calixtro. A yellow shown in the 73rd.
Well, we certainly see a little bit of frustration here. There's really no chance to get the ball there. Tries to go right through Rogers, and it's an easy call on the card.
They keep referencing that 8 caution total from a couple weeks back. We didn't seem to be in any danger of challenging that number about 10 minutes ago, but of course, Tacoma. Daly shown a caution in the 70th, and now Calixtro. A few moments later, Chris Little will go to his bench once more. Abdullahi Sissoko set to come on, and Jesse Daly comes off. Alfonso Ocampo Chavez to join Sissoko and seeing the pitch. And what a night it was for a key player we highlighted in pregame, Alec Diaz. A couple of goals and an assist to his name.
That's right. 3 of these goals have Diaz has played a big part in them. Not just finishing, but then setting up Perez on the easy finish on that 4th goal. Diaz, a promising young player, only 18 years old.
Wow. And we'll see a lot of Diaz, of course, as his USL career unfolds, but also in this 2020 restart, be very familiar with the Group A combination of squads. Tacoma and Sacramento, Reno, much of the same matchups over the course of the next couple of months. Including for T2. They will host this same Tacoma side at the end of the month, Saturday, August 29th, as well as a couple of weekends later on September 12th, right here at Providence Park. Here's Hansen approaching the box, steps over. Hard cross played low on the ground, headed not quite clear. Same with Perez, still holding it in. Anguiano. Villegas, Malloy. Hansen will try it again. On his right foot, trying to play it back in toward the box. Can't get the deflection and is out for a goal kick. And as we cross over to the 77th minute, our hydration break of the second half. Getting one each side of halftime. It was 2-0 at the halftime break. Tacoma since adding a couple of more. And they have the 4-0 advantage. And we'll get a look here of how the second half to this point has unfolded. And it began with a familiar name just after the halftime break with Alec Diaz scoring. But of course, he's had Chino Perez had an opportunity to find the back of the net and could not, but was able to find redemption here.
Yeah, there again you see Diaz with one of those runs. Splits the center backs. He's so quick getting inside that central channel, and he plays that ball into Perez for a nice easy finish.
All smiles for that man. On the far side of the bench, Alec Diaz, 2 goals and an assist. Meanwhile, Timbers, too, is right around this moment of the match versus Reno that Gerardo Duran scored his first professional goal. At that time, cutting a deficit in half at 2-1 before the visitors added a couple late. As for Cam Knowles and his squad, a unique-looking lineup that put forward at the start of this one after, of course, being down 2 center backs in Williams Velasquez and Max Ornstall. Initially a 3-5-2. But of course, everything's fluid and morphs in different ways with the roster. An unenviable challenge for a manager when the roster, due to both call-ups and of course injuries, becomes thin. But Cam Knowles up to the challenge, as ever. Evidenced it time and time again in his playing days with the USL T2 squad, as well as the MLS Timbers, a longtime member of the Timbers coaching staff. Such a pleasure to talk to and just talk soccer with, whether it's talking to him about T2. I've had the opportunity to have him on Talk Timbers as well. A man with a lot of soccer knowledge and experience in his 3rd overall season now at the helm of T2. Hansen does nicely to pick it off. Doing his best to dribble forward. Earns a foul. Doesn't like the extra shove from Mueller. Sets up a set-piece opportunity for Anguiano and T2. Is coming from just over 30 to 35 yards out. Sent in. Header from Kitahara. Redirects to Malloy. Looking to volley that one on frame. cannot over the bar.
That's fun, Malloy. Looking on top of the box, pop the ball up and hit that volley. Just can't quite get across it. You can see the players jockeying for space on that free kick. Anguiano lining it up. You can see a screen happening for Stanley trying to cut inside. Tacoma did a good job to break up the play.
Kraliki coming on hard to challenge and perhaps open up Kalikstro. But it does make it safely to Herrera. A pair of goals either side of halftime accounts for our total so far. T2 hunting for one of their own. Sissoko on the ball. Came on pitch just moments ago. Down to ground goes Kraliki. The whistle stays quiet. Comes out here. Foul on Anguiano. Aaron Malloy, the first round pick out of Penn State, comes off here in the 82nd minute. Gets a pat on the back there from Cam Knowles. As we see Colin Wilkerson come on for him, and his first action of the 2020 season. Long ball up pitch, flag was up for some time. Oh, good to see Colin Wilkerson get some run here. Coming on for Malloy.
Malloy's really done a good job in these last couple games. Just connecting passes from one side of the field to the other, switching the point of attack, helping initiate the attack.
Kiner involving Wilkerson with a couple of touches. Mitchell Ferguson as well, starting in that back line, and his first start of the season. Kraliki, Stanley, Villegas up the line. Cleared upfield, only as far as Anguiano. Wilkerson back to Ferguson, who dislocated his shoulder as a sub in the last match with Tacoma, but he's resilient and tough. He bounced back, appeared as a substitute against Reno, and now starts tonight. Stanley reaches out, keeps it in the attacking third. Another T2 throw. Good spin from Anguiano. Still Anguiano. Carlos, edge of the box. Stanley, left-footed cross comes in. Kalikstro turns it around off the chest of Herrera and back into the arms of the Tacoma keeper. Kalikstro once more sniffing opportunity. Had some power on that one, but such a narrow angle with Herrera on the near post.
He did. He got that ball off his foot pretty quickly. It was such short range. Keeper couldn't get his hands to it. He made the save really with his shoulder.
Long diagonal for Hansen from Ferguson. Does well to combine with Duran, but Defiance up to the moment. Out for a Tacoma throw. We've seen a good amount of Defiance. Of course, we saw Reno here putting up an identical number and a 4-1 win. Laura, how would you compare the Tacoma and Reno sides from what we've seen over the last few days here in Providence Park?
Well, the Reno game, it was 2-0, and then off of that Stanley assist to Duran finish, cut the score, cut Reno's lead to 2-1, which looked like it was going to change the game, and then with the substitution and entry to the game of Foster Langsdorff for Reno. He was able to follow on a play, get a goal to create the separation to 3-1 in Reno's favor, and then he drew a PK that was perhaps questionable, then to make it 4-1 that Francois buried in the back of the net. So a little bit different flow to the game with that substitution making such a big difference in the Reno game. Whereas in this game, Diaz really was the star on the attacking end today.
A dynamic player. Both Langsdorff and Diaz. Both players highlighted respectively in our pregame show. Both coming through during run of play. Crossing over to the 87th minute. Next up for Defiance, a trip to the aforementioned Reno 1868. Nice job by Wilkerson. And Kiner and Hansen all in the vicinity, but Hansen going to be whistled for the foul here. This Saturday night, Tacoma at Reno. They'll stay in Nevada to take on Las Vegas Lights the following Wednesday. Trip back over to Sacramento and then back up here to the Rose City at the end of the month. Meanwhile, the new faces entered on the pitch for Defiance want more here. Following the foul. Just about even with the 18-yard mark, wide of the box by a couple yards. Fernandez in toward the 6, going down hard. Hansen with Sissoko chasing. And the whistle blows for a foul on Sissoko. As Harold holding the back right of his head here.
Well, this really isn't what you want to see, is another back for T2 going down with possible injury, but it looks like he's going to be okay.
One of the veteran leaders, Harold Hansen, in his 4th overall season, displaying some toughness as his side needs it. Sulte sends it forward. Rogers the first. Villegas does well to settle, but only for a moment off of Stanley and out for a throw. As for Timbers 2, in the middle of a stretch of 3 matches in 11 days, all here at Providence Park, concluding this coming Saturday, hosting Sacramento. Fernandez, right side of the box, cross comes in, looking to one-time touch, settles. Sulte with his foot, takes off Serrano. Hunter Sulte, creatively done in the nick of time. Duran taken out from behind. Caution number 6. Fernandez draws this one.
Yeah, Duran cuts the ball here with the outside of his left foot and just coming in late there.
Pardon, Ocampo Chavez draws the yellow, coming off the bench in the waning moments of this second half. Three cautions for each side. Duran, Onqueano, and Calixtro for Portland. Mueller, Daly, and now Ocampo Chavez for Tacoma. Anguiano sends it toward the box. Kraliki and Stanley in the area. Goes out for a T2 throw. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Kraliki looking to unleash. Deflection falls to the feet of Kalikstro. Gio, right foot. Looking to combine with Duran. Off of him over the end line. Tacoma last to touch. Corner kick coming up for the home club.
This ball dropping to Kalikstro. Takes a number of touches there outside the goal, frame of the goal.
This one driven toward the near side of the 6. Out again for another corner. Wilkerson to help it. Left-footed cross from him. Driving Kalikstro. Another touch this time off of Duran and out for a goal kick. Tacoma content to hold. Now playing forward. Geiner getting his second straight start at the center back position for Portland. Ocampo Chavez sliding to keep in play, cannot. Whistle sounds, and that concludes this one. Tacoma Defiance able to pitch the shutout. Goalkeeper Christian Herrera up to the challenge, and that man, Alec Diaz, all over the place. Goals in each half and assist as well to boot. Paces the visitors to a 4-0 victory here. Tacoma Defiance, the winners in Providence Park, 4-0 over Portland Timbers 2. T2 looks to regroup before coming back this weekend against Sacramento Republic. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from tonight's action in the Rose City. Began in the first half, goal scoring opportunity converted by the visitors, going up 1-0 early, and it was off this rebound for Alec Diaz.
Yeah, Vargas does a great job. Get down the line there. Solti making the save, but on the rebound, Diaz finishing with his right foot there, far post.
Wouldn't be the last time we called Diaz's name, but first, a second goal of the opening 45 off this corner. The captain able to connect Taylor Mueller on the header.
Yeah, Robles, who had a great game today, sends this ball in. His left foot, Mueller, well up to put that away.
More from the man of the match in Alec Diaz tonight, finding far post to be Solti.
Remember, the ball just popped over the top there into space. Such a quick player like Diaz. It's exactly what you want. Places the ball on his right foot there, sets himself up for a nice finish far post.
And after Diaz earned himself a brace on the score sheet, he stayed active. Hunter Solti, busy night for him. Up to the challenge for much of it. But here Diaz, already with 2 to his name, plays the role of giver to Perez.
Diaz again off this ball by Fernandez again. Same idea, popping the ball over the top for a very savvy, quick player like Diaz. Places the ball right into the space for the finish.
Perez certainly happy about some redemption after missing an open net earlier. Final stats, 4-0 on the scoreline, much closer in the shot total advantage, but 13 of the 14 shots on target for Defiance.
That's really unheard of. That is outstanding by Tacoma to get 13 out of 14 shots on frame in a game where they had 53% possession.
6 cautions in the match, 3 for either side. No reds tonight in a victory for Tacoma. We'll see you once more Saturday night. Portland Timbers 2 taking on Sacramento Republic in more Group A action from the USL restart. T2 will look to rebound and put together a quality effort this coming weekend. Tonight, though, goes to the visitors. Alec Diaz, a brace and an assist. 4-0 the final from Soccer City, USA. We'll see you Saturday night from the Rose City on ES.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.